The entire Z Flip 5 review can be spoiled in 4 words. Like the previous generation, new hinge, bigger outer display, and new chip. But wait, these 3 changes are more complicated than they seem. The most important and visible change of Z Flip 5 compared to the previous generation is its outer screen, which is 80% larger and is placed below the cameras, and the piece of the screen is bigger for shortcuts. This display shows the always on display that gives you some basic informations, and for more access, you have to unlock the phone. Well, it is logical. The fingerprint sensor is located on the power button and it is easy to access in folded mode. But in unfolded mode, its location is a slightly higher than convenience. Samsung has tried to make the outer display simple and efficient as possible. By scrolling down, you will see control center, by scrolling to the left, you will see notifications, and by scrolling to the right, you will see widgets such as weather, clock, and widgets of compatible apps. I mean compatible apps such as Google Map, Google, Gmail, Messenger, and some other apps, so that you don't have to unfold the phone for a simple task. It is still not very easy to ride with it, but it is not a strange or impossible task anymore. But now it is 80% bigger, efficient, and more. For what? Well, this phone should convince you to buy a foldable phone for $1,000 instead of a flagship whose screen is protected by resistant glass instead of plastic and cannot be permanently scratched by nails. Yes, Samsung has up to 1 free replacement of the screen protector, but at the end of the day, its resistance is definitely less. And this is just one of its shortcomings compared to a normal phone. The external display makes you less likely to open the phone and reduces the possibility of being distracted. It's like, I want to play a game, I want to write an email, I need a map, I want to have fun, I want to use the phone now. So I unfold it. Otherwise, I have to say sorry to TikTok and randomly scrolling in Instagram. Of course, in Samsung's own Good Luck app, which is for more personalization, there is a feature where you can bring all the apps to the external display. But I don't think you would like to play Call of Duty on a 3.5-inch touch display. Anyway, but the outer display of Z Flip 5 is not perfect. First, it is smaller than its competitor, the Motorola Razr 40 Plus, which is not a big problem. But the big problem is the resolution, colors, and refresh rate of the display. The pixels can be seen with a little precision, the colors are not very nice, and worst of all, it is 60Hz and not dynamic. It means that even when you do not work with it, 60Hz remains. This is not good at all. When the user realizes that he can use a 120Hz sharp, dynamic AMOLED display with 1750 nits brightness, he will find no reason to not unfold it. The internal display is of great quality, the colors are accurate, the brightness is quite acceptable, the speed is the standard of these years, and the bezels are small. The external display is not bad either, but definitely not at this level. The hinge of the Z Flip 5 has now been completely changed and uses the water drop mechanism, that Samsung calls it the flex hinge, which causes the phone to be completely folded and there is no space between the two parts. In addition to making the dust of the pocket or the place where it is located less enter the screen, it also feels better. But on the other hand, the phone does not fully unfold. It opens 178 degrees or something. It is not felt, but it is not perfect either. The IPX8 certificate is also preserved, which means that it is completely resistant to water. But to dust? Perhaps it doesn't have the certificate for. The dent in the middle of the screen has not changed at all. When the display shows bright colors, it is not visible much, but it is completely felt when touched. You will probably get used to it, but it is not pleasant. Because the screen protector is plastic, it is more fingerprint magnet and more hard to clean. The hinge still stands at different angles and now its flex mode capabilities have been improved. It's an interesting gimmick, putting it on the table, filming, keyboard at the bottom and content at the top, using the bottom part as a touchpad and some other features. Feel good and run smoothly. By the way, this is the main reason for Samsung's superiority over other folding devices. Maybe other companies offer a better form factor or perform better in terms of hardware, but Samsung's software is more mature in this field. 4 years update is also good news, if you can keep the internal display for 4 years. In terms of hardware, Z Flip 5 is the same as Z Flip 4 with an overclocked version of Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 and UFS 4.0 memory. Everything is smooth and it performs heavy tasks well, but it gets very hot during long heavy use, which is normal. The entire motherboard and cooling system is on the top of the phone. But if you have some daily use, don't worry. The battery is the same 3700 mAh, which is slightly better than the previous generation due to the more optimized hardware, but it will still need charging before the end of the day. The charger that is not in the box is 25 watts, and it fully charges the phone in 1 hour. It also supports wireless and reverse charging. The camera is not really a part that needs to be talked about a lot in this phone, because in one sentence it can be said that if you are looking for a camera, the Z Flip 5 is not made for you. The cameras have not made any differences compared to the previous generation, and the sensors are the same sensors used in the S20. The photos of the main lens are sharp, have rich colors, and the details and dynamic range are also acceptable. The ultra-wide photos have distortion, but the colors are close to the main lens and the details are acceptable. But the important thing about the camera is the external display, which means you can take selfies, videos, and even make video calls with the main and ultra-wide cameras. This means if you are looking for a selfie camera, then the Z Flip 5 is one of or even the best choice. The 10 megapixel selfie camera inside is also not bad, but you will probably just use it for some multitasking thing when video calling or something like that. Large outer screen, new hinge. Will this be a game changer? Well, not for everyone. The larger outer screen gives more reason to buy a clamshelf folding phone in addition to its compactness and the style. Less distraction. And the new hinge makes the concern about the phone's resistance a little less, and makes it easier for people to think about buying it. But there are two important points. First, the problems and shortcomings of Z Flip 5 compared to a normal phone are still so many that a normal user doesn't feel the need for it. Second, if you have Z Flip 4 or even 3, the changes are so small that you don't think much about upgrading. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, like it, and if you like my content, subscribe to my channel. Goodbye, see you next video.